Yo, what is up guys? Anthony here, back with another Destiny Child video here on the channel. And in today's Destiny Child video, everyone will be overviewing the Ragna Break Season 18 guide here for the upcoming events, being the Midsummer Night Dream event. As you can see, we do have Juno featured here with the upcoming Ragna Break, and we'll be breaking down his Japan skills and what we could expect with his upcoming boss, and of course the team recommendations for our set of units to counter this boss. Before we do dive into the guide, I just wanted to give a huge thank you and credit to Oxytocin and the Destiny Child Discord servers for creating this guide. A beautiful guide here nonetheless. So a huge thanks to Oxytocin for this amazing guide, and of course for the translations here as well. So I'll be sure to leave links to the Destiny Child Chinese and global server in the description box below. But without any further ado, let's dive into the guide here and check out the skills for Juno. Alright everyone, here we are with the guide up close. So we do have the potential skills for Juno here. The boss, of course, being a light type debuffer, as you can see him pictured on the left hand side of the guide here. Now of course these boss skills are based on Japan and subject to change. Now we'll receive confirmation of the skills when the update note and Ragna Break events release on the Destiny Child moods page, but for now here's something that we should expect, or something very similar. As for the tap skill for Juno, he does attack 2 targets, priority shocked, inflict drive gauge charge amount minus 30% for 14 seconds if the target is shocked, inflict skill gauge charge amount minus 30% to 2 targets, priority highest attack for 14 seconds long. As for the slide skill here, attacks 3 targets, priority buffed, inflict shock to the targets for 14 seconds, inflict buff absorb, remove 1 buff and drive gauge plus 50 to ally to the targets. Drive here, attack all targets, grants fortitude to self, remove after 120 seconds or upon taking 35 attacks, grants evasion plus to self for 50 seconds. The leader skill here, debuff evasion plus 40%, debuff duration minus 60%, skill defense plus 70% except for weak point. Field here, charge speed plus, weak point defense minus, nullify disabled debuffs, and time-based debuffs. As for shock here, 150 damage over time. When attacked, damage random ally by 20% damage over time amount, and chance to reduce skill gauge. So a ton of debuffs here for Juno. Does seem to be a decently tricky boss. As for the strategy though, shock can be cleared by damage over time cleanse, nullified debuffs, buff absorb can be blocked by nullified debuffs, fortitude can be countered by direct hit, and guard buff blast. The new unit Tiwaz is a new dark type team staple, good in both Ragna Break and world boss trials. She is good in any world boss, similar to Maid Citri. Gear up your team with accessories with debuff evasion options, as many as possible, and reapply your buff before fever time if Juno slides before it. As for the unit's recommendations here everyone, we do have of course the MVP being the new unit's Tiwaz, and a recommendation for her leader skill of course, as she is being introduced for this event. As for Tiwaz, she does have direct hit, gauge charge, charge amounts plus, weak point final blow, and skill cooldown minus. And of course you do see the skill order here as well, being slide tap, and with being ignited to 3 stars, slide tap tap tap. As for the next category here, we do have double edge slash attack plus. It's recommended to run one of these units. We do have Neptune here, Moonlight's Werewolf, and Hermes. As for Neptune, she does apply double-edged sword, charge speed plus, and heal. Moonlight Werewolf, she does apply attack plus and awaken. Hermes here, attack plus and tap damage plus. As for the crit buffers, it's recommended to run one of these units. Lupin here, and Pantheon. As for Lupin, she does apply awaken, crit damage, crit rate and damage plus, and tap skill final blow. As for Pantheon, he does apply crit rate and damage plus. As for aid here, it's recommended to run one of these units. We do have Samil and Nubimona. Samil here does apply vampirism, tap damage plus, Aid and Nullify debuff. Newbie Mona here, damage over time cleanse, vampirism, charge speed plus, and aid. As for other offensive supporters, it's recommended to run 0+ of these units. Of course, it does depend on your uncaps, etc. As for the first option here, we do have Thisbe, next up Senga, Durandal, Maid Citri, and Rusalka. As for Thisbe, she does apply Nullify debuffs, charge amounts plus, slide cooldown minus, and gauge charge. Senga here, charge amounts plus, slide cooldown minus, and gauge fill. Durandal, charge amounts plus, and slide skill damage plus. Maid Citri here, gauge charge time twist. Rusalka, fire nullify debuffs, fire charge amounts plus, and gauge charge. As for other survival supports, it's recommended to run 0+ of these units. Of course, it does depend on your team. As for the options here, we do have Pomona and Mats. As for Pomona, she does apply nullify debuffs and regen. Mats here, full team regen. As for the attacker recommendations for this event, everyone, we do have the suggestion of 1 to 2 attackers for your team. We do have here, first of all, being Moonlight Artemis with the recommendation of her leader skill. Next up, we do have Ophois, Kefri, Kubaba, Liberated Mott, Elizabeth, and Starlight Saturn. As for the tips here for the attackers, attacker prioritization, 6-hit slide over a 4-hit tap, 4-hit tap over a 4-hit slide. 4-hit slide is somewhat equal to a 3-hit tap, and a 3-hit tap over a 3-hit slide. Next up, we do have Artemis with magic damage is the best attacker. Ophois is the best slider since guard buff blast. Note, in Japan, guard buff blast will not blast fortitude if Ophois is buffed by direct hit. Sliders may perform better if Lupin is on your team. So there are the recommendations for your attacker slots on your Ragnarok team for this event. And of course, make sure to take into account the boss skills and of course the tips here listed on the right hand side. As for the soul credits, these are the recommendations for your attackers, and do take into account a new soul credit may come as the best choice. But we do have here the Deep Sea Soul Credit, which is a tapper's choice, of course, for units just like Moonlight Artemis, Liberated Mott, and Elizabeth. As for Starry Stage is a backup attacker soul credit, and we do have Demon Hunter Demon being the slider's backup soul credit. As for the supporter options, we do have Showtime, of course, being the best defensive soul credit. And if you don't have the Showtime Soul Carta, any other HP/defense Carta can be used. As for the sample teams, everyone, we do have the ranking team here, being Moonlight Artemis, Samil, Tiwaz, Neptune, and Lupin. As for the leader, it would be Moonlight Artemis. As for the drive skill order, we do have Tiwaz leading into a Samil drive and ending off with an Artemis drive. As for the next team here to the right of the guide, we do have Ophois, Nubimona, Lupin, Thisbe, and Neptune. Of course, the leader recommendation here is Ophois, with the drive order being Thisbe into a Nubimona drive and ending off with a Lupin drive. As for the sample off element team, good only when you have fully ignited Courtesan Battery. We do have Courtesan Battery here, of course, fully ignited. Lupin here, Nubimona, Failnaught, and Tragedy Rusalka, and the leader skill being here for Tragedy Rusalka. As for the drive order, we do have Rusalka into a Nubimona drive and ending off with a Lupin drive. As for the skill order of this team, we do have Battery with Tap, Slide, Slide, and Failnaught with Slide. As for the final team here, of course, being a 3-star team, we do have a small quote, any chance I can break through walls between us. So this is sort of a meme team, but we do have the units here, of course, being a Guardian Legend in the first slot. And next up here, we do have the Awakened Cynthia. As for the third unit here, we do have Archer Angel Lot. As for the fourth unit, we do have DJ Hertz. And the final unit being Euros. And of course, the leader skill on this team would be for the Awakened Cynthia. So there are all of the sample teams for the event, of course, being for the Ragnarok Season 18 Juno event. And of course, all of the recommendations for the units. So I'll be sure to link this beautiful guide in the description box below so you all can check it out on your own time. We also do have the links to the Destiny Child Chinese and global server in the description box below, so you guys can check out their Discords as well. Also, if you're interested, we do have the YouTube channel Discord in the description box below as well. But before we do end off this video, a huge thank you once more to Oxytocin for creating this beautiful guide for all of our global users to follow, and also a huge thanks for the translations as well. But anyways, that'll pretty much do it for today's Destiny Child video, and of course the guide rundown here for the Ragna Break Season 18 Midsummer Night Dream events. Now make sure to let me know in the comment section below what type of team you'll be going with for the event, and of course if you are pretty confident and excited actually for the Midsummer Night Dream event, as it does introduce some amazing looking characters such as Juno and of course Tiwaz. But before you go everyone, if you did enjoy today's Destiny Child video, make sure to leave a like on this one, and of course if you haven't yet done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the Destiny Child content, and of course would like to stay notified for more videos and of course live streams here on the channel. Now with all of that being said, I'll see you all in the next Destiny Child video. As always, thank you all so much for watching.